And Jesus again responds to her. God knows if she understands him, because he may not be speaking her language, but his own. It's not fair to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs. You have to understand that to refer to Canaanites and foreigners as dogs was like giving them a nickname. It was like a nickname for Gentiles. Everybody called them dogs. She said to Jesus, "Sí, Señor. Pero hasta los perros comen las migajas que caen de la mesa de sus amos." Yes, sir. But even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs. In that moment, Jesus has one of those forehead-pounding experiences. And he says, "My God, your faith, woman, is incredible. Your faith is unbelievable. What faith you have. Let it be as you have needed, as you have wanted. Your daughter will be healed." Now, the part of the story after. Jesus leaves Tyre and Sidon. He does, I don't know how much time he spent at the timeshare, but he leaves and he goes back to Galilee, and he goes up on top of the mountain in Galilee. And Matthew writes, after Jesus had left that place, he passed along the Sea of Galilee, and he went up the mountain where he sat down. He went up on the mountain where he sat down. Matthew tells us nothing more other than he's back in Galilee, sitting on the mountain, and I'm betting that he's got his head in his hands, shaking his head, going, "What have I just learned? What incredible thing have I just learned?" Great crowds came to him, bringing with them the lame and the maimed and the blind and the mute and many others. And listen to this. They put these lame and blind and maimed, they put them at his feet. They put him at his, in other words, Jesus sat down and didn't move. Because Jesus sat down and didn't move, the people were obliged to bring the people and set them before him, set them at his feet. And in that context, they were cured. There's no mention of Jesus moving around or gesticulating or praying. There's no mention of his putting hands on them or saying words over them. There's only this mention that they laid these people at his feet as he sat there. And he sat there for 3 days. He sat there on that mountain for 3 days after this experience in the foreign country. After his experience with this Canaanite woman, he ran back to his home country, to that familiar mountain by the Sea of Galilee, and sat for 3 days, looking into his heart. The text says, and there are scholars who will argue, there are scholars who are going to argue with this conclusion, but the text says here in verse 31, that crowd was amazed when they saw the mute speaking, the maimed whole, the lame walk, and the blind seeing, and they praised the God of Israel. And they praised the God of Israel. Does that mean that their decision to praise the God of Israel was that that God was not theirs before, but now that God was. Who is being brought to the feet of Jesus to be healed? Might it be Gentiles? Might on this mountain Jesus be curing crowds of the Gentiles? Not only that, 3 days he is there, and nobody has anything to eat. And Jesus, what was the symbolism? What was the symbolism of the Canaanite woman? What was the symbolism? Even the dogs under the tables eat the children's crumbs. And Matthew ends this chapter of his gospel with the feeding story, with the feeding of the 4,000. 3 days people have been up there laying people at Jesus' feet. And now Jesus says, these people have got to be hungry. And the disciples are saying, well, this is the desert. There aren't any McDonald's here. Send them out to get some food. And Jesus says, no, you bring me your rations. You bring me what food you've got, and let's see what we can do with it. You bring me your food for us to share with these Gentiles on the mountain. And they bring their loaves and they bring their fishes. And Jesus blesses the loaves and blesses the fishes. They broke all of these into pieces and passed them out to the 4,000 men that were there on the mountain. 4,000 men. And women and children. So it was probably maybe, I don't know, 12,000 people. This feeding story is how Matthew ends this gospel. What goes into the mouth doesn't defile you. What comes out of the mouth defiles you. By the way, woman, foreign woman, I'm not here to take care of you. I'm not here to take care of you because you're a Gentile. Wait. For what you have said, for your faith, of course, your daughter is healed. And oh, by the way, bring all the other Gentiles to me, because I will heal them too, and let's all eat together. Let us share the bread of God together. My father said, Amanda, you've got to see how the other half lives. I don't think he expected me to go live in another country for 2 years to figure that out. The key to this story is that when we take a moment in time to see how the other half lives, to look at the lives of other people, it isn't what we learn about them that's important. It's what we learn about ourselves that's important. This story is about what Jesus learned about himself, and then what he did about it. And he made something incredible from what he learned. We are challenged by the others in our lives. We are challenged by the others in our community to find out what it is we need to learn about ourselves.